So you talk a lot about like discipline, like time, like disciplining your time and scheduling your time. Why is it that a lot of people don't do that?
Yeah, I think there's probably that's a long list. Okay, let me just cover a couple of them, and maybe we'll pick another day to do some more. I think we talked about in previous conversations what I would call drop-in visitors. Now, that could be a drop-in phone call, that could be a drop-in visitor, that could be a drop-in direct message. How many times have we got our phone out to do something that we need to do for business and then got distracted by five different texts, so that drop-in visitor, I think, is one of the biggest challenges people have for accomplishing goals. And you only need two, three of those time wasters to hit you in a day, and the day's shot. So it's critical that people, it doesn't have to be for 12 hours, but it's critical for a period of time. They have no distractions and they get done the main thing. I think crisis management is a lot of times a major time waster for folks, okay? That might be ineffective delegation. Okay, you're going 100 miles an hour and you give somebody something that needs to be done and you didn't spend the time to fully explain it, and it's not done it the right way. Now I got to circle back around, and it takes twice as long, three times as long for it. Plus I'm pissed or ticked off. Okay, so ineffective communication in lots of realms can be a huge time waster. Inadequate training. We talked about a few sessions ago about cutting shortcuts. Okay, that would be a shortcut. Not spending the time on the front end to train somebody and then having to put out fires on the back end. Procrastination is a huge time waster. Huge time waster, okay? We've got to do the most important things first, especially if those are the things that we don't necessarily gravitate to, which is normally the case.
What should you do in situations where, let's say, you have a client that just, like you just mentioned, just pops in, but it's with a somewhat urgent task? How do you not let that become a time waster? Because I know me personally, I'll get clients reach out to me when I'm in the middle of a big project and they're like, I need this done right now, like as soon as possible. What do you do in that? How should you approach that situation?
Yeah, I think if you have conversations with the folks that might have potential to do that, that go along with, hey, I want you to know I value our relationship. And I want you to know that the folks I serve, I value their relationship. So if I don't get back to you immediately, like if I don't take your call, it doesn't mean I don't value it or I don't believe that you're okay. It means I'm with somebody else that, I'm giving them the same time and attention that you'd want me to give you, okay? And what I found most of the time is it can be taken care of 2 hours from now just as easily as it can be taken care of today, right now, okay? I just don't want other people's urgency to dictate my urgency, okay? So what happens is if I don't get done the main thing every day or at the moment that I've scheduled it and I get distracted, then it almost never will get done that day. And that's one day that I didn't move the ball forward and maybe the ball rolled back down the hill. I see, in business, I have a mental picture that I'm rolling this ball up the hill. Okay, I'm pushing it up the hill. And if I can get it up to the hill and get it to roll down the other side, then it's smooth sailing. But if I step aside to go do something else and the ball rolls back down the hill, I've lost all that ground, number one. Number two, I got to go back down to the bottom of the hill. And I just know human beings. At some point, we're just going to get tired. And that's what happens to business owners. They get burned out if they don't prevent time wasters. okay? They lose momentum, they lose the ground that they've gained, and eventually, it just becomes too hard.